Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today is Poetry Thursday, and it's also April, National Poetry Month. Throughout this month, I'm going to be devoting my Poetry Thursday episodes to sharing the poetry of some of my favorite poets. Today, I would like to share some of the poetry of the great American poet Wendell Berry. Berry, at 90 years old, lives near his birthplace in Kentucky, where he has maintained a small farm for over 40 years. Berry has long been an advocate for small-scale farmers as essential to healthy local economies. And he sees local economies as really being essential for the survival of the human race. The author of over 50 books of poetry, fiction, and essays, he celebrates in his writing the holiness of life, the need to celebrate the absolute ordinary things in life, which come to be sort of everyday miracles, things that we sometimes take for granted. These are things that he celebrates in his writing. He also emphasizes in all of his writing the absolute need for human beings to learn to live in harmony with the natural world. And if we don't, he says, it will be at our own peril. While his essays may have brought him the largest readership, essays that have earned him comparisons with Henry David Thoreau, I first discovered him through his poetry that is sometimes compared to the poetry of William Wordsworth and sometimes to Robert Frost. He has received numerous honors and accolades and distinctions in his long life for his writing, including a Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Book Critics Circle. He received the T.S. Eliot Prize, the Aiken-Taylor Award for Poetry, and the National Humanities Medal in 2010, which was awarded to him by President Barack Obama. And now, some poetry. How to be a poet, to remind myself. Make a place to sit down. Sit down. Be quiet. You must depend upon affection, reading, knowledge, skill, more of each than you have. Inspiration, work, growing older, patience, for patience joins time to eternity. Any readers who like your poems, doubt their judgment. Breathe with unconditional breath, the unconditioned air. Shun electric wire. Communicate slowly. Live a three-dimensional life. Stay away from screens. Stay away from anything that obscures the place it is in. There are no unsacred places. There are only sacred places and desecrated places. Accept what comes from silence. Make the best you can of it. Of the little words that come out of the silence, like prayers prayed back to the one who prays. Make a poem that does not disturb the silence from which it came. They sit together on the porch. They sit together on the porch, the dark almost fallen, the house behind them dark. Their supper done with, they have washed and dried the dishes. Only 2 plates now, 2 glasses, 2 knives, 2 forks, 2 spoons, small work for 2. She sits with her hands folded in her lap at rest. He smokes his pipe. They do not speak. And when they speak at last, it is to say what each one knows the other knows. They have one mind between them now that finally, for all its knowing, will not exactly know which one goes first through the dark doorway, bidding good night, and which sits on a while alone. Our real work. It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to our real work. And that when we no longer know which way to go, we have come to our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. The impeded stream is the one that sings. A poem on hope. It is hard to have hope. It is harder as you grow old, for hope must not depend on feeling good. And there's the dream of loneliness at absolute midnight. You also have withdrawn belief in the present reality of the future, which surely will surprise us. And hope is harder when it cannot come by prediction any more than by wishing. But stop dithering. The young ask the old to hope. What will you tell them? Tell them at least what you say to yourself, because we have not made our lives to fit our places. The forests are ruined, the fields eroded, the streams polluted, the mountains overturned. Hope, then, to belong to your place by your own knowledge of what it is that no other place is, and by your caring for it, as you care for no other place. This knowledge cannot be taken from you by power or by wealth. It will stop your ears to the powerful when they ask for your faith, and to the wealthy when they ask for your land and your work. Be still and listen to the voices that belong to the stream banks and the trees and the open fields. Find your hope then on the ground under your feet, your hope of heaven. Let it rest on the ground underfoot. The world is no better than its places. Its places at last are no better than their people, while their people continue in them. When the people make dark the light within them, the world darkens. The Peace of Wild Things. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. So that's a little bit about Wendell Berry. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.